one final little bit of a gameplay improvement we want to add into the game is to add the ability for our ball to kind of go at different random directions when we start firing. So at the moment, every time we fire the ball off, it only goes up to the right. It's because we're giving it the same value to go up and the same value to go to the right. And that's all fine and dandy. That works perfectly fine. If you're happy with it going in that way, keep going the exact same way in your own game. But we could also add the ability for it to randomly fire off in different directions, which will add a bit of kind of variety into the game, and it means the same strategy won't work every single time for every single level. Now, you might want your ball only to go directly straight up as soon as the level starts. That would make perfect sense too. And like I said, go ahead and do that in your own way if you want to. But what we're going to do now is just make sure that we can actually make it completely random. So every time we're firing the ball is at this point here when we set the vertical speed on the x-axis and the vertical speed on the right axis. Or sorry, on the y-axis. And like I said, if you wanted your ball to go straight up, what you do is set it to be 0 on the x-axis and then whatever vertical speed you want it to be going straight up. So that'll be fine and dandy, but we wanted it to go in a random direction from left to right. We wanted to still go up at vertical speed. We wanted to be able to go up at the full speed it should be going, but we wanted to be kind of random between going to the left or going to the right. And to do that, we can use a function built into Unity. So I'm going to delete our vertical speed here, and we're going to use a function called random.range. And random.range basically goes and picks a random number between two given points. So we start off by giving it a first point. So our first point that we'll use, or the first value that we'll use, will be making it go to the left. So we'll say minus vertical speed. And the next value we'll give it is all the way to the right. So we'll say vert speed. So our vertical speed at the moment, I believe off the top of my head, is 5, isn't it? If we go back to our ball, yes, our vertical speed is 5. So basically what it'll do is it'll pick a random number between -5 and 5. And it won't necessarily be a whole number. It can be any because it's a float value, it can be any point in between. So it could be -2.7654, who knows, or +1 or +3.7, whatever. So I'm going to save this and we'll pop back into the game. It's a very simple little change, but suddenly it makes the game feel very different. So whereas before we were always able to know that, hey, if we don't move, we're going to destroy these first 2 bricks here. Now, when we start the game going, we just have to react to whatever happens. So we can hit play. Coincidentally, it just happened to go almost the exact same direction, but there we go. We can now play, and it just happened to go straight up. If we play again, hey, it just happened to go completely the other direction. But there's no rhyme or reason. There's no constant way to how those numbers are picked. It'll just completely random. Every time we fire, it'll go somewhere between going to the left and going to the right. So perfect. We've got that in place just the way we want it to.